So today I would like to discuss how to get started with creative writing. Now, I know this can be quite daunting for many people, to be honest, from children all the way to adults, really. But creative writing is actually quite a lot of fun because it's creative. We make up the story, and so there's so much freedom to create any kind of character or situation that we want to, and normally without much restraint. We may be working with a title that we've been given either in an exam like the 11 plus or even the GCSEs, or we will have free rein to create the title and the topic that we're writing about. Whatever the case may be, I have got some amazing tips to help along the way. Hi there, my name is Joycelyn Akufo. I'm the Managing Director of Geek School Tutoring. So, first of all, don't be afraid to write what you want. Now, this may sound a bit puzzling to some, but as I said before in my introduction, creative writing comes from us. If you're given a title, for example, write about the deserted house, it's up to you what that deserted house looks like, what happens in the deserted house, if it's full of cobwebs, or, whether you walk into this amazing, elaborate, ornate looking structure. We get to decide exactly what that house looks like. And so that's what makes creative writing fun. And you get to decide exactly what you write about, what the characters feel about that deserted house, what they see, what they can smell, what they can hear, what they can touch. So don't be afraid to write about what you want. And I would even add to that and say, write about something that interests you, because it will help you come up with more ideas to write, and more twists and turns to your writing. So that's the first thing that I'd like to say. Then the second tip is to write what you know. So if you for example, don't know anything about pottery, for example, don't say that when you walked into the house you could see pottery being made and so on, because there are things that somebody who knows what pottery is, and maybe the wheel, and I'm not a pottery expert. You see that I'm already stumbling on describing, there's a wheel, they put the clay on there, it spins around, and they use their hands to mold whatever's being made and so on. Why go down a path that you are unfamiliar with? It will reduce what you can write, probably bring in some inaccuracies, and even worse, confuse your user. Stick to something that you know about, and then it's much easier to describe it. So before we carry on with this amazing video, please remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications so that you will get notified every time a new Geek School video goes up. Enjoy! Now, the third thing, which I'm always encouraging students at Geek School Tutoring to do, is to read the news. I know for some it's like, okay, why would I want to read the news and hear about earthquakes and all the bad things that are going on in the world? Well, to be honest, the news isn't just full of bad news. There are some local news stories, news reports on, new scientific findings in health, in science, and so on. And when you read local news, you also get stories about what's going on in somebody's life, achievements, and so on. and they can be very inspiring when it comes to actually writing and help you come up with ideas. Many people think that when you write a creative story, it has to be so unique that it has nothing to do with nothing else that could possibly have happened in the world or anything you've ever heard or read, and so on. Truth of the matter is that is far from the truth. The truth of the matter is that is far from the truth. So here's the thing. We are inspired in our writing by the things that we hear, the things that we see, and the things that we know, and the things that we experience. And so we can use snippets of these things, you know, these stories that we become aware of, and use that to create our own stories, actually. So reading widely will really help. And so I'll add the book reading into that. It's important to read books. So in Geek School, I use an example of somebody who wants to get fit. You know, one of the first places that you may find them is in a gym around other people who want to get fit. You wouldn't find them in Pizza Hut, McDonald's, KFC, Nando's, or, you know, some other fast food establishment if they're serious about getting fit, you know. And so if you want to get good at writing, you need to immerse yourself in words. And we learn a lot from the stories of other authors, other writers, and so on, which is why it's really important to read and read widely. I want to also suggest that perhaps if you struggle to come up with writing ideas, why not get some writing prompts books? And, you know, this is not a sales pitch, because on the Geek School website, actually, if you go onto the blog, you will find lots of free writing prompts there. And if you go onto the shop, you will also find, you know, lots of downloadable writing prompts. Yes, they're pitched at children who are preparing for the 11 plus, but they're very useful across the board, even with older children, or even with adults looking for ideas on topics to write about. But I've produced these writing prompts books, book number 1 and a book number entry level. There should be a second one coming after this, but you know, I've been so busy with so many things, but we will get there eventually. So these writing prompts are basically literally books full of prompts. Apologies for that, just hit the keyboard. And you know, I've kept them very, very simple inside the book because the idea is to just get the words on paper. They're not really books on guiding children how to write, because we have free courses for that. And even with that, you know, I've included important things like how to paragraph, how to describe characters, you know, punctuation toolkits, you know, understanding punctuation signs, and so on. And it's intentionally black and white or grey in the middle because, number one, it's cheaper to print, which means that it's cheaper for you to buy, and secondly, it's a writing prompts book. You know, it's not an art book. You can colour in the book if you want to, and so on. But the beauty of both of the books is that it's almost like a journal where, you know, students can just write. Basically, the entry level one has a plan your story page for every writing task in there. Of course, you won't be able to read it with the way that I'm holding it, but if you head over to the Geek School website, you will get a flip through. And of course, these books are available on Amazon to buy, and you know on Amazon it lets you have a bit of a look inside. The important thing to bear in mind is that it's not the design that I focused on, it's actually the writing prompts, which are there to help students get ready for, you know, the type of prompts that are likely to be used in exams like the 10 plus, the 11 plus, and so on. Okay, so another thing you can do is to take a class, So on the Geek School website, there's a free creative writing course, and I created this course because in the almost decade that Geek School Tutoring has been running, I have seen that there are, persistent issues with creative writing that I've seen in students when they start with us. And I thought, if I could just do a video series, get them all to watch it, maybe we can sort of elevate their writing a bit more and literally show them how to, start the writing at a particular level, the structure of the writing, where to get ideas from, and so on. And so the course is free for the whole world. We have we have people from literally all over the globe, all across the UK, the Americas, China, Europe, and so on, and lots of amazing feedback, and it's absolutely free. Of course, we have video-based paid for courses that include marking, and we have the Write and Bloom course where it's an interactive online writing course. So there's a lot available, to be honest, a lot available. So just get onto a course and find out how to get to grips with writing in general. So some other practical tips: write every day. So 5 minutes a day, a random topic, or just choose a picture and write about it. That's something that will help, especially with those who struggle to come up with ideas in the first place. If you're forced to write something every day and you spend about 5 minutes writing every day, it will really enhance your writing. So then another thing you can do is to keep a diary or journal, and basically that's just another way to really hone and practice your writing. So notice that there are practical steps that need to be taken in order to improve writing. You don't get good at something just by wishing you were good at that thing. In order to really improve with what you're doing, you've got to practically do it. So writing is very practical, so it makes sense that you need to actually write in order to improve your writing. Okay, so those are the main steps to take. And I've got one more tip. We all, I think, in most cultures, you'll find that we share family stories, funny things that have happened to ourselves, or, retelling a story of a family member and so on. These are all fantastic, rich sources of inspiration to use. And what we don't do is necessarily rewrite those stories, but we can use them to inspire us in the same way that I described for using the newspaper articles and so on. These family-based stories are really handy in helping us to have something to leverage from, something to start from, and then build our story up thereafter. So that's it, I think. That's it for today's video anyway. So I hope that's been helpful. And you know what I love about the Geek School Tutoring YouTube channel? I love seeing all your comments, helping each other and so on. So if you have any tips that have helped you in your creative writing endeavours, please share them. Of course, if you have any questions, please go ahead and share them as well. That's it. See you then. Bye. Thanks for watching. Do you need help with your writing? Don't forget to check out Geek School Tutoring's online writing courses at www.geekschooltutoring.com. the 11plusessay.co.uk. We have everything from creative writing courses to English comprehension courses and English grammar and punctuation courses, just to name a few. Remember to like, comment and subscribe to our channel and to switch on your notifications so you know when our next video goes up. Bye.